Alright, update part 6 of the Ford G63T swapped Dodge Stealth front wheel drive. But we got some shiny bits in, that's exciting. 16G tubular manifold, those are all pretty budget. You can find those on, I'm going budget for now because over here you might see that manifold and that turbocharger. That is an Evo 8 and 9, or 7, 8, 9, and the manifold. If anyone is ever wondering, the manifold does not fit the head of that DSM engine. So, but I have plans for that. Let's say maybe a top mount style 16G on the Stealth. Maybe, we'll see. Using that manifold and a new flange, in theory you could cut that flange off, buy another DSM style flange, flip everything upside down, lengthen the tubes going underneath, and build yourself a top mount turbo for the Evo 9 16G turbo I have. Anyway, that's a future thing. Cheap Boy is going to get it running and driving, and we'll do that later. But anyway, I had to cut. I'll splice in what I did for draining the fuel tank. So check that out right now. Okay, so you're needing to drain the tank from your 3000 GT or Dodge Stealth. Keep in mind, this is a 94 model. I think they're all the same, but can't be for sure. Tested to verify this works. Look how nasty that fuel already looks coming out of the tank. But if you look down here, you will find a connector. It's a 1-pin connector. It'll be right beside this blue one. Do not touch the blue one. It has something to do with timing or something like that. But there's a 1-pin little connection right there, taped up in blue. No battery in, but I do have my jump box here. And essentially, I've got it grounded to the frame. And then all I got to do here is take this guy and touch. And voila. But, yep, like I said in the video, you'll use the black single pin to a ground, drain your tank. I had a bunch of brown, yellow looking fuel. Glad I got it out of there because I'm going to throw a few gallons in it and it'll be ready to go. I know the fuel pump works, so that's good. I'm using the original fuel line for now. This here is not an ideal line, but it fits. You have to bend this a little bit to get it to bolt in straight. So, but yeah, it works for now. Fuel system can change later pretty easily, like any DSM. They're pretty straightforward fuel systems. Run a regulator, and so on. Got to wire in my Evo 8 still, and my mass airflow sensor, and I got my coolant line hooked up down there. Don't mind those oversized fitting, like hose clamps. That's all I had. And original one here. Gonna prime the turbo. Let's wait on this guy to go by. Okay, he's gone. So, what was I saying? Oh, let's prime the turbo. Put that back on. I need to hook up the oil cooler lines because those are literally open down there. Don't forget that. That would make a giant mess. I need to run my last power steering line right here. Put an O-ring there. So, aftermarket radiator, guys, beware. This used to have a bolt that stuck out about to right here. I almost damaged my radiator. I went on to actually 3sxperformance.com, looking around on there for parts, and they had a radiator almost identical to the one I have. Now, I'm not saying it's the same one, but this one was on Amazon for under $200, and theirs was a little bit more, and they look identical. And believe this if you want, but I got to digging, and a lot of the cheap radiators you find look identical to the Megan Racing radiator. Can't confirm that, but I'm gonna believe it till it gives me problems. I don't see it giving me problems. I've used cheap radiators before. But anyway, so I ground these guys down. I used my guy here. And you just get in here and I grind it down flat. Some guys might want to go even further, but I'm going to go flat for now. And I'm going to get me a little bit of foam that actually came in the packing with my radiator. I'm going to drill some holes in the foam, and I'm going to set it here, and it's going to rest against the radiator to protect it. You have to modify your mounts a little bit for these aftermarket radiators. I might only be running 1 bolt because it sits about like this in there. So it'll hold it in place. I'm not too worried about that. But the only other things I've done off camera, this is going to be the wiring for your AC compressor if you're running a 1G AC compressor. Tap into the black wire with a white stripe, and with that one wire you'll run it around to the compressor connection. So that's the only thing to note there. 2G guys are going to be different. If you're not running AC, don't worry about it. So this connection, the fan, the stock one had a resistor for the fan. I don't know exactly what the resistor did, but I'd rather just not use the resistor. If aftermarket fans can just be wired in, we'll see. If I have to wire in with the resistor, it shouldn't be bad. We found out with the fuel injector resistor, it's not the end of the world if we have to wire one in. But yeah, so at this point it's just piecing a few things together here and there, and then next is going to be getting into tearing the center console apart and putting my adapter harness in for my 1G ECM, and cross our fingers that we don't pop every fuse in this engine bay. But we'll see for science. But until then, any questions, drop them in. Send me a message on Instagram if you like. I will get back to you.